Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about fractions. Fractions can be a little confusing, but once you get to know them, they're actually quite easy. So, to be able to talk about fractions, first we need to learn some vocabulary. The first thing we need to know is what is a fraction. So, a fraction consists of a numerator and a denominator. So, basically, these numbers are talking about parts of wholes. So if I were to draw a circle and break it into 4 parts, and I'm going to color in one of those parts, my denominator is noting how many parts of a whole I have. So if I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts that are going to make this whole. So my bottom number or my denominator would be 4. The next thing is our numerator. Our numerator is how many of those fourths we get, or how many are colored in. So if we look up these 4 pieces, I'm going to get 1. So we would say I have 1/4 or 1/4. So that is called a fraction. 1/4. How many parts on the bottom our whole is broken into? On the top, how many of those we get? So if we look, here is the example. I have 4 parts that my whole is broken into on the bottom. I'm getting 1 of those, so 1/4. We have another thing called a mixed number. A mixed number is when we have whole pieces and parts of pieces. So here I have 2 whole pieces and 1 piece is broken into 2 parts and I get 1 of them. This is called a mixed number. Over here we have something called an improper fraction. For improper fractions, the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator, the small number. So basically, instead of saying we have 2 wholes and a half, we're going to count up all the halves that we have and put them over the denominator, which means each of these is broken into 2. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of 2. All right. So let's practice one on our own. So let me give you some circles. So I have some circles and I am going to break them into 4 pieces. So I would like you to write this as first a mixed number and then as an improper fraction. So take a little time to do that. All right, let's first look at it as a mixed number. So first we're going to see how many whole pieces do I have. So I'm going to look. I have 2 whole pieces. That means I get to eat all 4. So 2. Next, I'm going to look at this piece. It's broken into 4 pieces. So I know my denominator is going to be 4. I'm going to look at the colored parts, which is how many of those 4 I get. And I get 1. So I have 2 and 1/4. The next thing we're going to look at is the improper fraction. So remember, that's when we count up all of the quarters together. So we know our denominator is going to be 4 because each piece is broken up into 4. So we're going to count all of our quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 quarters. I hope that helps to answer some of your questions. Let's review our vocabulary one more time to make sure we understand. So, here we have a fraction. Remember, a fraction has a numerator and a denominator. The numerator tells us how many we get to eat, or how many pieces we get to have. And on the bottom, we have our denominator. Our denominator tells us how many pieces our whole is broken into. So this is a fraction. First, here we have an improper, a mixed number, sorry. First, we have a mixed number. So a mixed number says we have two whole pieces and a fraction of a piece. The last thing we have is an improper fraction. That is when we count up all of the halves together and they are bigger than the number on the bottom. I hope this helps to answer some of your questions, and I'll see you later.